California, you drive across the start-finish line, headed down into turn 1, 205, 210 miles an hour. They've got that TRD radar trap up there. Try not to look at that. And as you drive down into turn 1, you have to decide which lane you're going to run. You can run right up by the fence, which is a lot smoother and sometimes faster. You can run down the bottom. It's a shorter distance, but there are a lot of bumps. As you unwind the wheel and push the throttle down off at turn 2, there are a set of bumps right there before you get to the wall, and the car really shakes loose. It's a tough corner. And then you scream down the back straightaway into turn 3, and turn 3 presents a number of options. You can run as low as the apron down in turn 3. You can run across that white line. The banking goes away, but sometimes there's some grip down there. You can run up by the fence, but the biggest thing to remember coming out of turns 3 and 4 is that the straightaway isn't a straightaway. It opens up to a big curved front stretch, so you can get the throttle a little earlier than you could off of turn 2. You just scream back to the start-finish line and hope it worked.
So getting into turn 1 at Atlanta Motor Speedway, it's really wide and it almost feels like you fall down a couple of stories getting into the corner. It's a little bump getting into turn 1, so it's really important to get to the bottom as quick as you can. If you're on fresh tires, you can hug the white line just around the exit of turn 2 and really throttle up hard. The back straightaway appears long, but when you're running 200 miles an hour, you're into turn 3 before you know it. Drive into turn 3 really hard. Get to the bottom again. It's very important to get your left side tires all the way to that white line. Sometimes you even touch the apron just a little bit, and that helps rotate the car, and then you start throttling up for corner exit. And as your tires get older and older, this is always a problem spot. You tend to spin the rear tires and lose grip on exit of turn 4, and then you go through the tri-oval, and that's a quick lap around Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Green flag lap at Bristol. It goes by very quick, obviously, but when you get into turn 1, you have to use a fair amount of brake, since it's obviously a pretty small track. So a fair amount of brake, and your preferred line is going to be up pretty close to the wall, about a half a car off the wall or so, we'll say, and depending on the rubber buildup. And you let it kind of drift up in the middle of the corner, and you do a little bit of a diamond off the corner. So you drift up, and you're off the throttle, and then you hammer the throttle down in the center of the corner, kind of get it pointed straight for the exit of the corner. And you have a little short back straightaway, and then turns 3 and 4 is actually a little bit easier to get your car turning through. So you drive into 3, same deal. Let it you use a little bit of brake, not too hard. Carry your momentum. Let it drift up the racetrack, and get it pointed. And as soon as that thing's pointed, you can hammer the throttle down, and then you're pointed at the start-finish line.
So a lap around Charlotte Motor Speedway, going through the first dog leg on the front straightaway, let the car drift out to the wall, arc it in over the hump, the car gets light, and then you have to have it pointed right, so when you land, there's some big bumps right there. When you land down there in turn 1, the car load up, you got to make sure you have it pointed right there. And then exit of 2 is pretty easy. Low as you can keep it on the bottom, a lot of grip down there near the paint. Up off of 2, down the back stretch. Coming to turn 3, you got to lift early going into turn 3. Big arc, not a lot of brake, and try to get in the gas early and drive down the hill so you can get a good exit off of turn 4, because it gets real flat out there by the wall. It's real easy to run into the fence off turn 4. So out to the wall off turn 4, back through the dog leg, back to the start-finish line. That's a lap of Charlotte Motor Speedway.
At Chicagoland, when you go down the front straightaway, you're looking into a very sharp high bank into turn 1. You want to hold it as low as possible, but on older tires, you can actually move up the racetrack and gain some time. The biggest thing is getting to the gas early off of turn 2. That'll carry you down that back straightaway with a lot of speed. Into turn 3, the middle line is typically the fastest. It's the smoothest, so you want to get in that middle line as quick as possible, get back to the gas so you can complete a fast lap at Chicago.